Welcome to today's CT Buzz. I'm Allison Demers. Ben Fuchs, founder of Fuchs Financial, is here to talk about diversification and why diversifying your portfolio can make a big difference in retirement. In addition to being a certified financial planner, Ben is also a certified private wealth advisor professional. Ben, walk us through diversification, what it is, why it matters, and why it's most important.
All right, so let's be perfectly clear. If you were to tell me the word diversification, I am like half asleep. I see the word and I'm like, I'm just not interested. Thank you, I'll move on. But diversification is that thing that keeps my clients from having to worry about stock market crashes and wondering where their money's coming from and making sure that they're okay. It's having assets in different locations by design so that when the stock market goes down or when real estate goes down or when gold drops, we always have something else that we can pull from, but we don't have to worry about that affecting the way that we live. And that, in a nutshell, is diversification. Now, I keep going because there's a guy named Warren Buffett who's done a few things with stocks, and Charlie Munger was longtime partners, right? And they were asked about diversification one time, and they laughed at it. They're like, that is stupid. If you want to make money, you find stocks that are great. If you don't worry about diversification, we go all in. And I agree that if you don't have to worry about money like Warren Buffett, you can go all in on a few stocks. But when you're getting ready to retire, you don't want to be in a position where a market crash that could last for 3 to 5 years can change the way that you live, could force you to go back to work. So we use diversification as that tool to keep us comfortable. And so we look at different places, right? In terms of where to diversify, we've got different asset classes, there's different geographic exposure, different industry and sector spread, and then it reduces your risk, it gives you smoother returns. And I think for most people, the most important thing is peace of mind.
Peace of mind, absolutely. All right, that's an important warning. Thank you. So where should people be making sure their diversity is in their portfolio?
So what we see a lot is I'll see a portfolio and people might have 2 or 3 or 4 different money managers and they all have a whole bunch of mutual funds. And what we'll do is we'll take all those mutual funds and we'll put it into this program and it'll say, what are the actual stocks that are inside each one of these mutual funds? And so I did this the other day with somebody who had about 15 different mutual funds, and all 15 of them held Amazon, held NVIDIA, held Microsoft, and their biggest holding was Microsoft. They didn't own any of that individual stock. And so you don't realize that people think that they're diversified with all these mutual funds, but really it's just a concentration. They're owning a lot of the same things and they move in tandem, right? Diversification is if one thing goes up, we don't want the other thing to necessarily go up the same way, because if the other thing drops, we need to have that safety net. So that's why it's so incredibly important, but we see a lot of that. And so we want to help people and make sure that they're not in trouble in retirement.
Wonderful. So if someone achieves that portfolio diversity working with a financial advisor, why does it matter? How will people see a difference in their investment returns?
Oh, great question. So I don't know if you remember earlier in 2025, we had a little thing called like a tariff scare where the market went down by like 20, 25%. Well, the clients that we were working with that are dependent on generating interest, generating money from their accounts to take care of their paycheck, we were able to still continue that and it was not affected by that market downturn. Now, if everything that they had was in the S&P 500, the most common index, and it went down by 24%, and they needed money, they would have to sell at a huge loss. They would lose a lot of money that way. The problem is that you can invest and be very aggressive while you're still working, while you're not touching that money. But when you need to rely on that money, when you need to pull on that money every day to maintain your lifestyle, to do the things that you want to do, that's when diversification comes in and when it becomes so important.
Okay, so that's the key takeaway here. As people look to what they need to be doing to help assure a great retirement portfolio, diversification should be high on their list of priorities.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, proper diversification goes beyond simply owning funds or stocks. It requires a thoughtful approach to spreading your investments across various asset classes, sectors, and regions. By understanding and implementing real, true diversification, you can build a more resilient portfolio, one that is designed to withstand market fluctuations and achieve your long-term financial goals.
All right. Thank you, Ben, for putting diversification front and center on our to-do list. This will help keep us on track toward achieving our financial goals for retirement. And if people want to learn more, they can easily set up an appointment, and that initial consultation is complimentary, no obligation.
Yeah, we'd be glad to help. You can go to taxesandincome.com or call us at 860-461-1709. And we have offices in Middletown, West Hartford, Middlebury, and Mystic. We can meet you by phone or Zoom, whatever works best for you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ben, and thank you for joining us. For today's CT Buzz, I'm Allison Demers. See you next time.